you guys have already accomplished a lot in this competition this year, especially, but, you're in a semifinal here and you've got a chance to move on to a final. What would it mean to you guys to, accomplish something else in this tournament?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Like you said, we've accomplished a lot this year, especially making Champions League. But every game that's put in front of us, we want to win it, and especially knockout games in the semifinal. We've gotten this far, so why not try and go the distance and try and win the whole thing? So definitely gonna put a lot into this game.
Next question, Maurice Suazo. Maurice, you need to unmute. Okay, we go to the next one. Steve Milton.
Hello?
Maurice, we do it in the next one. Steve Milton first.
Hey, Triston. What's the film show you on the team you're going to play? What are you looking at here?
Just looking at their style of play. Obviously the personnel, past games they played in this league and also domestically in their league. Just trying points that we can attack them, look at their strengths, and then trying to defend them as much as we can. So it's a lot of it's a new team, so it's different from playing the guys that we play in our league. So we just gotta take extra look into them and take our time and find the points that we can attack them, and then yeah.
Maurice Suazo.
Hello, what do you know from Motagua?
We know they're an experienced team, a team that has done well in this competition. One of the best teams in Honduras. So they know how to win in this competition. So we have to make sure that we respect our opponent. But yeah, like we said, we just go at them and look at their weaknesses and try to exploit them as much as we can.
Do I have any other questions from the media members? I don't see any hands raised. Steve Milton again.
Triston, one more here. I think you guys like playing on the size of your field that you're playing on here. I mean, is that true? And is that true from a goalkeeper standpoint? Does it help you because you know the reference points?
Yeah, we like to play on a big field. We like to keep the ball and move it around and use the spaces on the field. So playing on a big field like the one we have here at Tim Hortons Field, it definitely helps our game. And also having the fans there, of course. But yeah, like I said, having a big field always plays to our advantage in the way we play.
Any other questions to the media members? Maurice, go ahead.
Okay. What focus and one, excuse me. How?
Si quieres la puedes hacer en español y yo se la traduzco.
Ok, muchas gracias. ¿El técnico les ha enfocado en algún jugador en específico de Motagua?
Has coach focused on a particular player from Motagua?
No, not as yet. Not yet.
You guys have played a couple of Honduran teams before in the last two times in this competition, and they were quite direct physical teams to play against. Just, are you expecting a similar sort of opponent here? And do you feel that you guys have improved enough over the last year to have a different outcome this time against one?
Yeah, of course. I think the Honduran squads are sometimes a little bit similar. Motagua is, I think, a very similar team to looking at Olympia from the first year that we've played. A team that can mix it up. They can play a lot of football. They can be direct. They can be physical. So I think that makes them an interesting opponent. And then when you look back to that, we're a much different team than we were 2 years ago as well. But there's certain things that we have to look at on our end that have to be good. And tomorrow night, that starts with the first leg here at Tim Hortons Field. It's a place we haven't lost in this competition, and we want to make sure we keep that track record the exact same once that final whistle goes tomorrow.
Let's go with Louis.
Coach, does anything change in terms of your preparation, your mindset, what's said from a league game to a Concacaf League game?
Yeah, I think not a lot, to be honest. Focus on our principles, focus on what we're doing, and here's another knockout type of game. We've been playing these through Concacaf. Canadian Championship, and then this past weekend with York in the semifinal. It's the details. We stick to the details. I think we've seen our opponent very well over the majority of their season and know where their threats are. But like with every opponent, there's the opportunities on the pitch, and we just focus on that. We'll stick to our match principles. We'll stick to what we do very good, especially here at home. And then, we'll just look at the little tactical nuances that we need to focus on with this opponent.
Steve Milton.
Hey, Bobby. What can you say anything about your potential lineup? Have you got everybody available? Like, what's Mo's situation? Where are you there?
Yeah, guys are much better than the weekend. So we foresee that we should have everyone available, including guys that weren't on the weekend. So today's training session has gone well. We've gotten most of the guys through the paces, which gives me some decisions to make for tomorrow night.
We're gonna go with Jimmy Rodriguez.
Voy a hacer una pregunta ahora en vivo al técnico Bobby Smyrniotis. Hello, we're live in a radio Conexión Footbox in Honduras, Deportes Televicentro. Mr. Bobby, one question. In what ways has your team evolved through the years after watching the game against Olympia in 2017 and against Marathon in 2020? In what ways do you think your team evolved to face this Motagua in this instance? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the easy thing to say is experience, but that's an easy word to use. I think we understand the intricacies of each opponent better. I think that's what it is. We've made adjustments to our squad in 2021, which I think makes our team a much better team for this competition, also for our domestic league. So I think that's the biggest thing. We come off of the experience of playing these games, playing both Olympia and Marathon gives us a little bit of a guide over the last 2 years, because I think they're both teams that have distinct styles of play. And Motagua is very similar. They're a successful club. You see it on their squad, good rotation, a good amount of players that the coach can trust on, a coach who's been there for years. So they have their way of doing things, and I think that's what makes them an interesting opponent. But for us, I think it keeps on becoming a point of confidence, believing in what we do. Having won now in the last 2 years 2 championships in the Canadian Premier League, now having qualified for Champions League, I think this just gives more motivation to the players, and I think that's what's very important for tomorrow night as well.
Let's go with Jose Armando Rodriguez.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Motagua offensively. Have you watched any film on them? It seems like Kevin Lopez is a player that they rely on a lot. Have you seen anything in particular with him that grabs your attention, and some other players offensively about Motagua? Thank you.
Yeah, of course, they're a team that in the attack does very well. You see it in their numbers in the Honduran league and the goals they score per game and where their averages are. And you also see that there's a healthy mix of the players. Obviously, the one you mentioned there, Lopez, is an important player, moves around a lot on the right side, but has played up top for them as well. And then you just see that different players moving in that front line, Ivan Lopez, Klusner, different players like that. They have a way of getting forward. Obviously, getting good numbers into the box is very important for them as a team, and they use that distinct style to go. But I think they've got a number of weapons in the attack, and they're a team that looks to go forward, and they like to go forward very quick. And I think that's what gives them their success in the attack, both in the league and so far in Concacaf League as well.
We're gonna do the last 2 questions. Omar Gutierrez.
Hi, Coach. This is Omar Gutierrez from Diario 10 in Honduras. Coach, Motagua has played twice almost every week on the last few months. And it's in the Final Four in the local and Concacaf tournament. So they are most tired physically. Do you think you can have a bunch of them? And what do you think about Motagua playing on your local side? Do you think playing Motagua like president can make a lot of work for you?
Yeah, on the first thing on whether they're tired, they can join our club. We've been playing 2 games a week since I believe the beginning of July. If you look at tomorrow night's game, after tomorrow night's game, our next game will be next Wednesday in Honduras. 7 days. That'll be the longest we've had all season between the games. So I think when it comes to these games, I think you put fatigue out the window. I think teams, these are important games. These are knockout games type of an idea. So I think players in both squads find the energy. They find the will to drive through things. And if they're tactically strong, then it always makes for a very good match. Obviously, for them, they've had to now travel in here. Conditions are a little bit different. I believe the weather is much different than in Honduras. But I think you have two teams who have been playing a lot of games, but that also comes with the success of the clubs. And I think that's normal. But I think they're an experienced team. They're a team with a lot of depth in their squad, and they're able to handle the schedule.
Last question from Maurice Suazo.
Coach, what do you think is the weakness of Motagua?
Yeah, to be honest, there's not a lot of weaknesses in the squad when you look at them. They have a lot of success as a team, but you just look at some different things in them, and hopefully their weaknesses. They're a little bit tired tomorrow night. They've traveled and it's a little cold for them, and we can take advantage of that here at Tim Hortons Field, where we're very good. I think tomorrow night, to be honest, it's two very good squads, two squads who have an identity of how they play, and they really believe in it. But not a lot of weaknesses in the squad.